Hi everyone, Jason here, local tech experts with another build for you. This one is part 2 of Ultimate Sleeper Build Mark II. So I've done a sleeper build before, this is the second one I'm doing. Hopefully I'm getting better at them as I keep doing them, but the older cases are sort of hard to find. If you haven't watched the first part, go ahead and do that. I sort of just go over the case and what I plan to do with it. So I've done most of the cutting and everything like that, so it's ready for me to actually start building into it now. I'll put the part list in one of the corners as per usual. It's not outstanding parts, but I work with what I have. But it should still be a pretty decent little gaming machine for someone. I don't know who's going to want a sleeper machine, but the last one surprisingly sold quite quickly, so that's pretty cool. Something a bit different anyway. I haven't been able to make videos, like I've been a bit slack over the last couple of weeks. Just literally haven't had anything exciting to show you guys, but finally got my act together and I'm going to get into this one. So I'll set the camera up a bit closer and show you what I did with this just to get it ready for more modern parts. Most of these old cases are standardized, so you can fit modern parts in them, but they don't think about cooling, so it's best to work some cooling into them. And I'll show you how I did that in a second. Thanks. Alright, so here's the main chassis. I've taken all the outside, the casing off the front and all that sort of stuff, so it's literally just a metal box at the moment. But in my last video I mentioned that I was going to put some cooling on it, so I've put this 140mm fan in the front, so I had to cut a hole out there. I've put a 140mm fan at the bottom and cut a hole in there as well. As an exhaust, this one only has, I had to dig around and find an 80mm fan that would get on the back there, but that should be enough. The power supply is going to be drawing air from inside the case as well, so that's going to be a bit of exhaust. I think it's always better to have positive pressure in a case because air can escape out of all the nooks and crannies and stuff like that, and less dust to deal with. If you have negative pressure, which means more exhaust, is pulling air into the case from all the nooks and crannies, and that's how you end up with dust in there. But nice big power switch here. You can see it's a nice big tactile one. So that's the front header, basically is a power switch, and that's about it. There is a drive cage that sits here. It has a floppy drive in it, but it's going to also have, I'm going to put the storage in there. It also has a nice beige CD drive, but unfortunately both those drives are IDE, and that's a well outdated interface, so they're going to basically just be for looks. There's plenty of space for the power supply in the top there. I've already fit that one in there. It's a 650 watt XFX power supply, bronze one, non-modular, but there's still going to be plenty of space in the top to fit all those cables in there, and then run some along the back if I can. I'm going to try and, there's a bit of room there. They weren't really thinking about cable management. You can see there's no tie-offs or anything on there, but I'll make it work. But they always make these old cases very solid, and the casing for this one is beige, obviously, for the 90s cases, but the beige cases tend to yellow over time, but the ones on this one are nice and beige still, not too much yellow on there, which is nice. I'll get the overhead on, start building into this, and it should be a nice little machine, something a bit different. Thanks guys. So this is how it turned out, guys. Pretty nice. Finding these beige cases is a bit of a pain now, but if you're willing to hunt around, you can find some in decent condition, hiding in people's attics and garages and things like that. I had a bit of a struggle with the drive bay, but managed to get it in there in the end. Everything else, bit of a labour of love. These ones. If you're willing to spend some time on it and do some cutting and grinding and give it some thought, then you can definitely make it work for you. I think I'll probably try and find more of these if I can, and continue on doing them if I can, even though they don't sell. They're kind of cool little projects. Reuse those old bits and pieces that are laying around. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.